Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Paradox of Sports with Jack Sentner.
All right, here we go. Paradox of Sports, episode 57. Baseball season's here. Spring is here. And it snowed like crazy up here today. What is it? What's things like in Pueblo, Jack?
Very, very good weather. We haven't had to go inside for any recesses in a while.
Not about practice.
About practice has been fun. We haven't had to cancel anything, you know?
That usually waits till you guys start games and tournaments, right?
Yeah.
That's when the weather gets shitty.
Mm-hmm.
What has been, I was curious, I was thinking today, because I was actually more of last night. I was flipping through at one time. I was watching the Avalanche, the Rockies, and the NASCAR, the Cup race at Martinsville. And I was curious, what in this time of year right now, what has your attention, like sports fan wise? What are you watching? What's that?
Been watching baseball.
Okay, so that's you predominantly shift towards baseball right now, and that's what gets your attention.
Yep.
Did you watch the Rockies game today?
No, but I did watch the one opening day.
Gotcha. Well, today was a mess. So the wind was blowing about 60 mile an hour up there. So I bet the over. I think it was 11 runs, and I think the over hit in like the 6th inning. So it was a crazy day. So they opened the season and sweep the Dodgers. So they're good. They're good to go through the weekend at least. So we won a series. We'll see how that goes. Let's do our interview first. And then when we come back, I have a few more questions about stuff that you have going. So
Okay.
Go ahead and introduce folks to today's guest.
Introducing CSU-Pueblo women's basketball coach. Please welcome Tommie Johnson. What's up, guys? It is Jack with another interview. I'm here with my dad, and please welcome CSU-Pueblo women's basketball coach Tommie Johnson.
Hey, everybody.
All right, should we get started?
Sure.
All right. What got you into basketball?
Just like most kids, dreaming. I was into a lot of sports when I was young. Growing up in Texas, of course, football is king. So played football, basketball, ran track. Tried baseball for a little bit. I was scared of the ball, so went back to the track and fell in love with just how sports could bring people together and you could pass time and stay out of trouble.
Where out in Texas did you grow up?
I grew up in Dallas, Texas. I lived 2 years in Killeen, Texas, and moved back. So, yep, Texas kid, born and raised. Love my Cowboys, love my Longhorns.
I'm not going to do it. Talk about your college career playing in JUCO before playing at UCCS.
Well, hey, hold on. Before we get into that, let's let Coach Johnson know that we are a Texas Tech Red Raider household. Via Jack's mom, my wife, we're Red Raiders, guns up. I'm a CSUP alum, but we're Red Raiders, and obviously the Longhorn thing,
Right.
We butt heads there. So
yeah, I guess I respect the Red Raiders, but when I was growing up in the early 90s, Texas Tech was definitely second rate to the Longhorns. But I had a couple guys I know play there. One of them, of course, was Gerald Sasser, Big Sasser, and then Darvin Ham. Those guys went out there and represented and played pretty well. And now Texas Tech is definitely something to deal with when it comes to athletics. They do a good job out there.
Yeah, especially when it comes to basketball and baseball, football. Definitely the Longhorns got to work on, the Red Raiders got to work on that. But got the Longhorns beat this past season. So.
Yeah, I mean, we both got a long way to go, but I got a feeling the new guy and Austin, he's going to get it going the way it's supposed to be. And I mean, I'm not sure if moving to the SEC is good for anybody, but we're about to find out.
Yeah, definitely are. Same holds true with Oklahoma. Should be interesting. Both those programs moving over to the Southeast Conference. So, all right, Take it away, buddy.
Talk about your college career, playing in junior college before going to UCCS.
Well, the biggest thing for me was I wanted to get out of Texas. I grew up and had a ton of small offers for football and basketball coming out, and like most kids, thought I could be a pro at some point, and I thought leaving Texas would help me do that. And so I go to Otero Junior College. I actually was recruited by Mr. Bradley Franz, who's still a mentor of mine, and I played for Steve Mentor before he moved on, and it just really taught me how to work hard. Junior college is a place where everybody's starving. There's a lot of misconceptions about junior college. I didn't go there because I didn't have the grades or any other offers. I just thought there was something bigger out there for me. And so actually, I feel like God led me to Colorado, really, because ever since I've been here, my life's been on the upswing. Colorado's a beautiful place. But anyways, get there. My freshman year is rough. I go from starting and playing a lot to not playing hardly at all. And I learned to be quiet and work hard. And next thing you know, you have some more success from there. And Coach Ed Pipes recruited me to come to UCCS. And actually, by then, I had a girlfriend who I ended up marrying. And I knew I wanted to stay in Colorado. So we go there and we become the first team there to actually ever have a winning record and qualify for the RMAC playoffs. And after that, I kind of knew I wanted to coach. And unfortunately, I went to the computer business first before I started coaching. And now I'm here.
Then you coached at DU, where you were an assistant under former Pat coach Jim Turgeon. What was it like in Denver, and what did you learn working with Coach Turgeon?
Denver was great. Great place to remind me of Dallas just a little bit in terms of always something to do, big restaurants, a lot of big fancy food chains and all that good stuff. But we lived on the outskirts in Aurora, so it was a great family place. It was a good move, I thought, for my daughter at the time, who was a pretty good athlete herself, just to experience some more competition. But I love just the Division I is just it's a different level in terms of intensity and preparation, and it's a lot thorough in terms of your scouting and your recruiting. And one thing I learned from Jim was just he kind of got his kids to play hard, and I love Jim a lot, and he's a good dude. But my biggest mentors were Ralph Turner, who was here at CSU-Pueblo on the men's side, and Patrick Eberhard and James Miller and some of those other guys, and Kip Drown. So those guys I learned a ton from as well.
Who was your absolute favorite player to coach at DU?
Wow, that's a tough one. I don't want to get in trouble. they were all great kids, man. I think they just really that group was ready to win. They were hungry. They were mature. I don't know. We had Bree Johnson is always going to have a fine place in my heart, little point guard from California. Samantha Romanowski, who was a Minnesota kid. She did whatever it took to win. And then after that, I have to say we had a little shooter by the name of Lauren, and she looked like 5'0" and didn't look like an athlete, and she just didn't miss. So those three definitely stand out.
Then you returned to Pueblo to take over the women's program here. What got you excited to take over the Lady Pack?
Well, this is as a coach, this is where I grew up at and matured at. Pueblo just really opened their arms to me when I was a young coach trying to figure things out. I'll never forget going to meet with Coach Riston and Coach Leo, God bless his soul, in terms of how to recruit to Pueblo, because it's different out here. Pueblo loves hardworking kids, and they like winning and putting everything up front. So the opportunity to come back to where I learned so much, I grew as a person, and my daughter basically grew up in Masari Arena, and my wife, and just to be back amongst people that I feel like I could trust, and in a place where this town really supports athletics, and I want to be a part of it.
In your first year, the Lady Thunderwolves finished with a record of 3-13. This year, you finished with a 23-9 record, RMAC tournament runner-up, and an appearance in the NCAA Division II tournament. What do you contribute this turnaround to?
A couple of different things. Number one, we got some better players. You got to get good players to win. I think the culture changed a little bit. Obviously, Alicia Davis, Romola Dominguez, Tamia Johnson, and Tori Bass in particular, they came in ready to win, and you get a kid like Amaya Lewis and Janiyah Davis to buy in, and Jazzy Hughes and Kansas Watts. They all every kid here just looked themselves in the mirror and said they wanted to win. So the turnaround was that. And also I got to go with our leadership as well. Our athletic director, Paul Polinsky, even when it was tough, I thought he believed in me. He called me, kept me calm. I was definitely didn't know what to do with myself after that COVID year was just tough. And under his leadership, and also a big mentor of mine is John Riston, just calling, trying to figure out how to make it through this and how to get the culture going in the right direction. So the leadership here, and then, just hitting my knees and praying that I could do to make the right decisions for everybody involved.
You guys have an amazing roster, but there seems to be a player that stands out, your daughter, Tommie. What was it like coaching your daughter at the highest level?
It was tough. It's tough. It's getting better. To me, defensively, she had a great year. Offensively, she struggled. She played hurt a little bit, but her passion is unmatched. And I think that she's so young. She's going to get better. But it definitely was tough. And I had to get better at letting her be her and play through some mistakes and learning not to text her and call her after games so she could grow on her own. And mom had to play referee sometimes, and luckily we had the right pieces around her that could support her even when she was struggling and I was on her a little too much. They all pitched in, so it's a blessing to be able to see my kid every day.
Obviously we're not at the college level, but of course I've coached Jack and also his little brother Vaughn, baseball, soccer. Awesome. And what advice do you have for a dad coaching his own kids when it comes to practices, in games, because you want the best for your kids, and that's what I tell both of them. You seem to coach them a little harder at certain times, maybe if you feel they lack a little focus or energy. But what advice do you have to a dad coaching his own kids?
Wow, loaded question. The first thing I would advise the kids to do their best. I know they're young, but to understand there's no bigger fan of yours than your parents. They want what's best for you. They love you, and it may come off a little hard sometimes, but they definitely have to be the ones that set the example in terms of hard work and focus. But my biggest piece of advice would be just to try to treat them like you treat the other players. So there's times when they have bad games or bad practices and you got to go for ice cream, and there's times you can't talk shop at the dinner table, and just always remember that they're your sons, because we lose focus of that sometimes, and we want to coach them up, and at the end of the day you still want to make sure you guys have a relationship when this is all said and done. So we're just in constant prayer over that, because it is tough, and you don't want nobody to think that, hey, you're playing favorites or anything like that, but your heart, what your kids are capable of. And I think it's a blessing to be coached by your parents if you have the chance to do that, because your parents are going to do it the right way.
Looking ahead to next year, what can we expect from the Lady Thunderwolves?
We want to get better. We want to get better. We were pretty bummed about not being able to win the game at the national tournament. We're trying to construct this team to make it to an Elite Eight, Final Four, and that starts by winning our league and hopefully winning the RMAC tournament. And we think hosting is important. We just saw the power of hosting the regionals. If you can play at home and get your home crowd there, and we've had a great crowds in Pueblo at the end of the season, that energy goes a long way. So that's what you're looking for. I think you'll see us be kind of the same defensively, but I'm anticipating us shooting a lot better from the perimeter, and I'm anticipating some of our girls like Alicia Davis getting better and stepping into more of a leadership role.
How many girls are you losing in going into next season?
Well, we lost two huge pieces. Kansas Watts is leaving, starting forward, and Jazzy Hughes, who the only reason she didn't start is she didn't want to. She wanted to come off the bench. So those two experienced kids, super athletic, high IQ, skilled kids. Jazzy was second team all league. Kansas was honorable mention. So those are the two kids we're leaving that we must replace their production somehow.
What do you do in your free time?
Well, I'm waiting on some of that. I'm waiting on some of that. I used to I used to watch TV a lot, and I don't know now. I just watch film and basketball stuff, but I like to read. I've become an avid reader over the last 10 years, or read a ton of books and articles. And in my spare time, I think I have to go shopping with my wife, and you wouldn't understand that yet, Jack. Sometimes you got to go walk around and say, yes, baby, that looks good. And so in my spare time, I try to give it to my family as much as possible. And if I can get a chance to read or watch a little TV, then or sleep would be nice too. So.
See, that's the beautiful thing about the paradox of sports. We don't just talk sports and, athletes. We get in real life situations and, can help with relationships as well.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We're a multifaceted entertainment show here.
Oh, well, yeah.
I want to rewind a little bit, and Uncle Kevin, who he's working overtime this month in Wyoming, so he'll join us next few episodes. But before he got into his power plant career, he was a writer for the Lahana Tribune in Lahana.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just curious, what years were you in Lahana playing for the Rattlers?
98 to 2000.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. That might have been right before he was working there, but
okay.
Obviously, big fan of the Otero Junior College athletic program. Chris Carrillo, who's
AD, yeah.
He's done some baseball clinics for Jack, and I grew up in the Lamar area as well as Kevin, and we had the LCC run at Lopes. Granted, I got a few college credits from there, but there's no really loyalty when it comes to the athletic department there.
Yeah.
So,
definitely, not to cut you off, there's definitely a family place atmosphere. At one time I wanted the chance to go back there and coach, but I had the opportunity to go to Denver. But there's a ton of people that have played there, that are employed there. They really do a good job of taking care of their own and looking out for each other. And Lahana's a really neat town.
But not too many hangouts there like there was in Denver earlier.
No, but that's okay. You can go grab there's some really good tacos and stuff in Lahana. So
yeah. Well, I still make it down there for a few client trips, and Boss Hog's there, Board's Nest way before then. So, definitely some spots there. So
yeah.
All right, Jack, take us home, dude.
Okay. What was your favorite moment of your basketball career?
Wow. Probably have to go back to high school. I mean, there's so many. Got a chance to play against Shaq in high school, and we took them to the wire. And in college, I probably have to say we won at Trinidad for the first time, I think, in the history of Otero. That's back when Trinidad they had this big long win streak at home, and Otero had won there. So probably winning at Trinidad is always good. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, this was long overdue. You guys had a great run this season. We were able to make it to a few games to watch the girls, as well as, Coach Hammer and the men's team, so it's just exciting what's happening at CSU-Pueblo. And, you credit Dr. Plinsky, and, he's been a friend of the show as well. And just, you can see that there's a culture change when it comes to athletics, and, the success is running deep across all programs. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it is. And so next time you guys are here, you gotta let me know. We got to gear you guys up a little bit so you can represent when you're out in the city. I see you got some pack gear on. We got to get you some exclusive women's basketball gear.
We would certainly love that. This is coming from a couple athletic golf tournaments over the years, but we don't have any women's pack gear, but we love to represent them as well. Had a lot of good friends that played for the Lady Thunderwolves when I was in college, and they had some success, it seemed, after I left, and making it to those national tournaments. And it's certainly great that you've helped resurrect the program and leading the girls back there. So nothing but continued success for you and the rest of the girls.
Thank you so much, Jack. I appreciate you too. Hopefully we can get that one-on-one going real quick.
All right.
All right, Coach Tommie Johnson, head basketball coach of the CSU-Pueblo Lady Thunderwolves here on the Paradox of Sports.
Thank you. Go Pack.
Go back.
All right, we want to thank Coach Johnson for taking some time chatting with us. I think basketball just wrapped up, so it's I'll talk hoops anytime, so I have no issue talking basketball. So we were talking earlier. Your attention now is on baseball. Where are we at? Where's your attention at for school? Where are we at? Like, are we almost done with school, or do you got to go
we're in
into
the
June?
last quarter of the year.
So you're in the last push.
Yeah.
Any big projects or anything you're working on, or is it just screw off time until summer gets here?
I'm about to start working on a research paper for my social studies.
Okay, holy shit. First of all, two things. They still teach social studies,
Yeah.
and then you're doing what kind of research paper?
It's like a 4-page research paper that's due at the end of the year.
And what are we researching?
The fall of the Soviet Union.
The fall of the Soviet Union. What grade are you in?
7th. I
You
chose
got time
this.
for that. You
got to
chose it.
Yeah, you gotta choose your
So
topic.
are you talking like Mikhail Gorbachev and that
Yeah.
time frame?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
He
How far-
decentralized his own union by itself.
So how far are you into your research and stuff then?
I think I'm almost finished with doing like some of like the starter research.
Okay.
We might start actually like writing it by the end of the week next week.
What have you found? Is there anything that's been the most fascinating or stat or something that's kind of caught you off guard that you found the most fascinating about that whole situation?
Yeah, Mikhail Gorbachev was a communist, but he ended all the communism.
Yeah,
in
which seems weird.
Soviet Russia.
Have you got into any of the stuff like post Gorbachev did Boris Yeltsin take over? Was Yeltsin the one that took over right after?
Yeah, it was Boris Yeltsin.
Okay, if you want to go down another pretty funny rabbit hole, you look at like anything that has to do with Boris Yeltsin and his drinking. Like he was very synonymous for, I want to say he was in the US at some event and he was just wandering down the street in his underwear, hammered with like the security people, like, sir, we need to get you back to your hotel. And he was like, I want a cheeseburger. So
I want a cheeseburger now. Now I'm hungry. You made me hungry.
Yeah, he was pretty well. Yeltsin was pretty well known for getting hammered and having a good time. So no, that's a cool research. What made you pick that?
I don't know. I just felt with all like the stuff between Russia and Ukraine going on, I wanted to do something about Russia. Oh, also, I got a call today from a caller with a Manzanilla number.
Okay.
And I answered the call and I was like, "What's up?" And said, "It is your turn, comrade. Leave your room right now, or your secret produce whole wide." Yeah, and I was like, "All right, bye." I didn't know
how to react to that.
Yeah, and then I got called by another number from Monte Vista, I believe, and they said that I had like a noise complaint from my neighbors, and I wasn't even being that loud. They called me again, so I just blocked the number.
My favorite thing now is when I get those, you can auto reply on your phone. So when I get a thing from a number I don't know, I auto reply with a text. There's one you can choose from that says, "I'm on my way." So I just hit that and send it to them.
Can you write your own?
I don't know if you can have your own written that'll automatic send or not. I don't know. That would be cool to have too. But yeah, my favorite is to hit the "I'm on my way" one to send it back to them. The last few that have got me, though, they've been landlines. So I get the little message back that just says, it's a landline. It's not that big a deal. So now I was talking to Mama Centner. about this summer because we were looking at trying to figure out a way for all of us to get together and get on the boat again. Explain to me again about the Field of Dreams deal you're doing.
So it's a tournament in Iowa, and
this is you. This isn't Vaughn. This is you.
yeah, this is me.
So, tell me what you're doing.
We're just playing baseball and probably get to like stay in like hotels and stuff.
They're in Iowa at where the Field of Dreams field is.
Yeah.
Nice. Have they built it like a sports complex now? I mean, I assume there's going to be more than one field there, right?
There is.
Okay, so they've just built it like it's like a youth sports complex now for folks to come play.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we might get to watch the Field of Dreams game this year.
Who are the Rockies there?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember who it was. No, I think White Sox or something. I don't know. I'd have to look. We're taping this on my phone.
It was
so
White Sox and Cubs last year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Field of Dreams game 2022. Cubs and Reds for this year. August 11th.
Dude, that'd be a good game. You know what I've got into here the last couple of weeks? I've been watching. I didn't realize it was that big of a deal. Was SEC baseball, like Tennessee and
that's like
Auburn.
Probably the best division for baseball.
Dude, they hate each other too. Like they get with it and they're checking stickers on bats and cussing at each other. And so there's that's my goal this summer. I want to try to get back into baseball. I don't know if it's necessarily the MLB level, but I want to get back into. I love baseball, so I want to get back in. I want to get back into watching baseball a little bit more. I think maybe gambling will help me on that a little bit too. So
okay, I want to try fantasy baseball. I think. Wait, hold on. Did y'all do the draft without me or not? Hold on, because I'm in a fantasy baseball league with my friends, and I think we all together forgot to draft.
Well, you're only 4 games. You're 3 games out. There's 158 games left or something.
Oh, we haven't drafted yet. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to get the boys together and get a draft done, then, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else going on?
I want to try streak. Is that's basketball?
No. Streak is when you pick a game, and then if you win, you get to pick another one. Right? That's an ESPN thing, I think, the streak.
Okay. I'm gonna find an app with fantasy baseball games.
You can start playing from there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else important we need to discuss?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll stay checked in some during baseball. Good luck here during baseball season. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like I said, we're gonna try to figure out a way we can get together for a weekend on the boat. Actually, I talked to your mom. That's what reminded me, or that's how I come to learn about the Field of Dreams. I'm hoping when you guys come home from that, maybe on your way home, you can stop for a day or two at the lake, and we can do some boating, and then everyone go on about their way.
Okay.
So if that'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Get us out of here.
All right. And that's it for this week's edition of the Paradox of Sports podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you can find the Paradox of Sports. And we'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.